Sell me this pen. What's up, everyone? Howard Kingston here, entrepreneur, marketer, and co-founder of Growth Velocity Academy. How do you love sales? Even if right now you think you hate sales and you don't like selling because it makes you feel like a bit of a douchebag. So, you know those movies, you might have heard of this movie there's a classic movie called Glengarry Glen Ross, where Alec Baldwin tells this team of car salesmen that they have to always be closing, ABC. It's a classic movie clip. And I remember when I was launching my last business at Ludio, previous to that, I was always doing marketing, right? Other businesses I'd launched, it was very always marketing related. And I'll be straight up, I actually can't remember. I don't think I'd ever done any sales before. Not properly. Not a proper sales, worked in a sales company. And anyway, so here I am. I've launched this advertising business. We've raised half £500,000, so whatever, maybe $700,000 from investors. And quite literally, it was only after about 3 or 4 months of launching the business and raising investment that I realized that, hold on, I have to get good at sales in this business because marketing's not enough. All right. And it was like a big boom. And you might say duh. Did you not think about that before you chose the business you went into? No, I didn't. I just didn't think of it. I was just so focused on launching the company. I didn't think about it. Right. So just being honest there. So that's where I was. So I had to learn really, really quickly how to do sales. And at the time I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do sales. So what I want to share in this episode is how I've learned to love sales. And you can too. And if it makes you feel like that, maybe you're feeling like a bit of a douchebag or something, don't worry. I'm going to show you the light. All right. So, because a common misconception people think when they think about sales is that you have to be this used car salesman, pushing stuff onto people that they don't want. And that's just not true. Okay. So let's get to it. So I'm going to share 3 hot tips on how to get to love sales so you don't have to be a douchebag. Tip number 1 is change the energy. So the energy of this, let's sell stuff to people that they don't really want and take money from them. Dudes, that's a really weird energy, right? That's not a cool energy. I'd hate that, right? And that's what we all think of. We're brought up thinking about someone going door to door. Hey, do you want this vacuum cleaner? And the door getting shut in the face. That sucks, okay? Now, but that's a certain type of energy. What if you flip the energy, you change the energy to that? And my favorite quote about sales, it's one of these quotes that's no one knows who originally said it, but it's my favorite one. And my favorite quote about sales is that it's the transfer of enthusiasm from one person to another. Okay? Hear that? Transfer of enthusiasm from one person to another. So think about it this way. Imagine you had a product that you genuinely believed would change someone's life. Right? By them using it, they're going to be happier. They're maybe going to be more successful. They're going to just have a much better life because of it. Now, when you're having a conversation with somebody and you say that to them, and you're talking about maybe this new product that you have that will really change their lives for the better, how is that energy different than if you're trying to knock on the door and sell someone a vacuum cleaner that probably they don't want, right? Can you see how the energy is really, really different? So here's the thing. If you really believe that your product, here's the thing. If you believe in your product, you should not be like a car salesman in those movies. You should be like the chief evangelist for your company. All right, you should be an evangelist. You probably remember one time that, the first time that you got a cool product that you've just gotten for the very first time. Maybe you just use Uber for the first time ever, and you're going, guys, and you're telling friends about it, and you're like, guys, this is amazing. You just click this button and a car comes, and it's so cool. That enthusiasm is what I'm talking about. Imagine if you were able to bottle that every single time. And being able to bottle that enthusiasm is changing the energy, and you really believing that this product is not you asking to take something off someone. No, it's you helping somebody have a better life through this product. Does this make sense? This is kind of like Jedi mind tricks, so stick with me. All right, so that's tip number 1, is change the energy so you focus on how you're going to make someone's life better. All right. Tip number 2 for sales and really getting to love sales is to flip the frame. Flip the frame. Now, what's a frame? A frame is all about how you look at something, the angle at which you look at something. And flipping the frame is another way to re-look at how you're doing your sales. All right. Now, most people think of when they're looking to have a sales conversation, they see themselves as you asking for permission for the person for their money. Okay, so your prospect that you're speaking to, maybe it's in person or on the phone, they're up here, they're the person with the money, they're the higher value person, and you're down here asking them for something. Okay, please, can I have your money? Again, not good energy. All right. So you want to flip the frame. What if you were the prize and you were the person with the special thing, and they were lucky enough to be chatting to you? And you know what? If you feel they're a good fit, you might offer them or invite them to buy your product. Let me give you an example of this. Right. So, there's examples of this from, I remember I first came across this concept reading a book about dating. All right. There's a great book called The Game, which, is one of the best marketing and sales books I've ever read. The book is called The Game by Neil Strauss. All right. And I don't agree with everything that's in it, but it's amazing for psychology. Okay. And when it talks about dating, he talks about how, most people, there's typically an attractive girl in a bar and all the guys are trying to get the girl's attention. Whereas actually the guy that usually gets the girl's attention is the one that isn't interested in the attractive girl. Okay, that's the one the attractive girl goes, who is this guy? Right? And this is about one of these kind of laws of psychology that people naturally want things that move away from them. Okay, so by flipping that frame, consider how you can maybe go into each sales conversation without you thinking that you're chasing the other person. Imagine if you genuinely believe at your core that you're the prize and they're lucky to have the conversation with you. And if they're the right fit for your product, you'll invite them to be part of it. Isn't that a very different kind of way to think about things? And again, I don't know about you, but I much prefer going into, if I know I have a sales conversation and this person is dying to do business with us, or this person is, really excited to speak to us, it makes me feel a lot better about the call I'm going to have. Okay, so that's the second tip. It's tip number 2 is flipping the frame. So you're the prize, and you're the thing that there's only one of you and one of your business. There's loads of prospects out there. There's loads of potential customers in the world, but there's only one of you and one of your company, isn't there? So wouldn't that prospect be lucky to do business with you? Is this making sense? Okay, and now Tip number 3 on how to get to love sales is to have a game plan script. A game plan script. Okay, so remember, have you ever done any public speaking? I'm sure you have, even if you haven't gone up and done a big talk to hundreds of people. I'm sure there's been an instance where you've had to say a few words to a few people, even if it's just around the table at dinner. Okay, and you know that someone's asked you to say a few words, like, introduce something, or maybe at a meeting. Guess what? You get really nervous, don't you? And you're like, oh, well, what if I say the wrong thing? And this is natural. Don't worry if everyone feels this way. It's okay. And when you feel like that, you feel nervous. Why? Because it's the first time you've done it, and you're not sure if you're saying the right thing. Okay, imagine if you had to do that same introduction that you've just thought about at that table maybe 15 times. After 15 times, you'd probably be much better at it, wouldn't you? And imagine if you actually had a script that you knew exactly what to say, and you could actually read from it if you needed to. You could have some notes in a notebook, and you had full confidence. You knew these things, that if you say these things, people will respond well to them. If you did that, if you had that, and you'd done that, gone through that process 10 times, guess what? After 10 times, you wouldn't feel nervous anymore, would you? So here's the power of having what I call a game plan script. Okay, having the right script in a sales conversation. Some people don't like that because they think it's like someone on a telesales or something, only they use scripts. No, I really recommend having a script of knowing exactly what you're going to say in a sales conversation, or certainly an outline, not word for word for everything, but an outline of a script that you can go into with full confidence that, even if you fumble your words a bit, or you get a bit nervous, just come back to the script, because the script will lead the prospect to a place where they will naturally know what your product does and know the value of it and be able to make a good decision. Because if you try and do every sales conversation on the fly without a script and make it up as you go along, the likelihood of you being able to really bring your target customer to the place where they really have all the information and it's been done in the right way is unpredictable at best. Let's say unpredictable at best, and at worst, it's you won't get the best result that you're expecting to. At worst, you'll have some horrible conversations and some okay ones. At best, it'll be unpredictable, and you want predictability. And ultimately, I know if I have a script and I know it's written in such a way that it's really the person I speak to is going to have a great conversation with me, I feel way more confident, and then I get to love sales more, and it's all good. So the 3 main tips I've been talking about in this episode is, one is to change the energy. So you're really focusing on how you're going to make someone's life better. Tip number 2 is really about flipping the frame. So you're the prize. There's millions of potential customers out there, but there's only one of your company, and you're unique, and they're going to be lucky. And if they're lucky enough, you'll invite them to work with you. And then tip number 3 is having this game plan script, a script written out, an outline, maybe not word for every single part of the conversation, but an outline of exactly what questions you're going to ask them and what that you need to say in certain parts to get someone to a good result. If you do those 3 things together, guess what's going to happen? 1, it's not going to feel salesy or sleazy in any way to the person you're on the call or having the meeting with. It'll feel very natural, and they'll feel the energy that you're not trying to push too much on them. You're not trying to you feel when someone's just trying to sell you something. Okay, you feel it, right? And if you believe you're a prize, you're leaning back, you're enjoying the conversation, they'll be way more relaxed as well. And guess what? Then you will end up loving sales, because like I said at the very start, I started by doing sales and I'd never done it before. And, to be honest, wasn't that excited about learning sales, but now I love it. Sales is cool because you're helping people discover a product that's going to make them have a better life. All right. So guys, if you like this episode, I'd love you to check out some of the resources I have for you. I have a free training, which I do regularly. Every week or two, I'm doing a free live training on sales, including some of the stuff I've talked about in this episode, as well as marketing. And we go really deep into it. So do check out the link below to join our next live session with me and be able to ask me questions, as well as the second thing is, if you just know you need help faster and need help right now, I offer anyone who checks out our episodes that they can get a free complimentary one-on-one coaching session with one of my coaches. All right, it's a 30-minute call. We'll help you map out your plan for the year, and it's completely free of charge. Do check it out. It's in the link below as well. You can book in right now. I think we have some availability this week. Okay, so guys, peace out. Do check out. Do follow us. Do make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.